Alright everyone, I'm back. I'm going to continue the video that I just did on the Central Division. This is the part 2. I wasn't able to upload them at the same day just because I had a lot of things going on and because I have to separate them. It takes a while for the uploading process to happen considering I do it through my phone. So that being said, here we go. So currently 5th in the Central Division is the Nashville Predators. They have 33 points. They have 14 wins, 10 losses, 5 overtime losses. Nick Bonino leads them in the goal scoring column with 12 goals, 19 points. And then right behind him is Yarncroke with 11 goals and 21 points. Philip Forsberg, 11 goals as well, 21 points, so same as him. And Roman Josi, 19 assists, 26 points. This national team, in my opinion, should be so much better than what it is. And I think a lot of Nashville fans would say that too. Going into the season, I fully expected Nashville to be easily one of the best teams in the Western Conference, but they've been really inconsistent almost this first half of the season, and a lot of things have went into that. Injuries, kind of, but nothing severe. Like Victor Arvidsson, who was having a decent start to the season, has been out for injury, and I think he's out for a bit. I'm not sure when he will be returning, but that has definitely been a gaping hole in the lineup for Nashville. Because Arvidsson, even though he hasn't had the greatest start to the season, when he's on, and he can easily be a 30-plus goal scorer in the league without question because he's proven that already. So the ceiling is still pretty high on him, so hopefully once he's back in the lineup, that helps. But Nick Bonino has really come out of nowhere this season. He's regressed quite a bit since winning the Stanley Cup with the Penguins a couple seasons ago, and then coming over to Nashville the following season in free agency. Really hasn't put up the numbers much, but this season has been completely different for him. He's been putting up the goal scoring and has been a huge help to this Nashville offense, which at times definitely needs it. Roman Josi has been a mainstay on their defense, their captain, their leader. Everything goes through him. Huge power play quarterback for them. And they have so many pieces defensively besides him. Obviously, you can also look at Matthias Ekholm, Ryan Ellis. They both have close to 20 points each. And then Dante Fabro, who's a very promising young defenseman in his rookie year. They just have a lot of pieces there. They really do. But their goaltending hasn't been as good as, say, advertised. Rene has been inconsistent this season. And Saros especially has not looked great to start the season, which is kind of alarming if I'm a Predators fan, given the fact that Saros is supposed to be the next man up once Rene's time with Nashville is done, which seems like it will be sooner rather than later. But overall, I do really like this Predators team. I like a lot of things in their lineup. Philip Forsberg is, as expected, great goal scorer. Will put up the points for you each season. Matt Duchene came over in free agency, one of the many players that left Columbus, and he started off the season for them red hot within the first 10 games or so, but has really died down since, and that's pretty alarming. So hopefully for his sake in Nashville, he picks up the pace. But they do have a lot there. Their depth doesn't look as great as it used to be, but especially with what Yarncroke has been doing this season has really stepped up for them. And some of their depth forwards like Grimaldi and Sissons have really picked up the play as of late. So overall, there's a lot of good pieces in this Nashville team, especially when Arvidsson comes back. I think that there's going to be a lot more. And same thing with I'm really blanking out the player that they got in return for Seth Jones. I really don't know why. I'm blanking on it. But their centerman, Ryan Johansson, really hasn't put up the points maybe as expected since coming over to Nashville from Columbus, because he had a monster, I think it was sophomore season with them. But he's always been solid in their top 6, but hopefully if they can get some more offense out of him too, that would be great. But overall, I do see this Nashville team making the playoffs. I think that their woes will not last forever. I think their goaltending will get better. Saros, I feel like, will get better as the season goes on, and Rene stands on his head when he needs to. Obviously, you would expect some more from him in playoffs, but just getting there is important enough as of right now. So I think that Nashville will make the playoffs and have a decent run. I don't see them going on a crazy run as of right now, but obviously things can change come the trade deadline if they make any moves. So with that being said, 6th in the Central Division is the Minnesota Wild. They have 33 points currently. They have 14 wins, 12 losses, 5 overtime losses, Zach Parise leads them in goal scoring with 12 goals, 18 points. Then right behind him is Zucker with 11 goals, 21 points. Ryan Suter has 17 points. And Eric Stahl, 13 assists, 21 points. Starting off here, I know that the Wild has been on a very good run as of late. They went 10 to 11 games without a regulation loss, which is very impressive. But the Wild are not making the playoffs. I'm sorry for any Wild fans that might watch this. I just don't see it happening. They really should be in a full rebuild, and they haven't committed to it. And their former GM, who was fired after he made all the moves he did, which I thought was silly, really messed up this team. And I see too much of old and too much of new. There isn't a good blend in between. A lot of grizzled veterans on this team, and I just don't think that it's going to push them forward. I like a lot of pieces on the team. I thought Matt Zuccarello, who's one of my favorite players, if not my favorite, I think that he's had a good almost first half of the season for Minnesota. He started off slow, but once he started connecting, especially with Eric Stahl on that top line, he has thrived. I think that he is overpaid quite a bit, but I'm very happy for him that he's getting the money that he rightfully deserves throughout his career. Jason Zucker has always been a solid scorer for them as well. You can expect 20 to even possibly 30 goals from him a season. Eric Stahl is past his prime, but he'll still put up the points for you. It seems like he tends to thrive in low-pressure situations, but when it comes to big pressure, big city, that just isn't his thing. And a good example could be when he was on the New York Rangers for like 17 games a couple seasons ago when he was traded from Carolina. Overall, I don't see this Minnesota team making the playoffs. They have some interesting pieces in their offense, like Ryan Donato, who's trying to really prove himself as an everyday NHLer since coming over from Boston in the trade for Charlie Coyle, which was a suspect trade in my opinion. Same thing with a lot of their moves they made. Like Kevin Fiala has been really hot and really cold since coming over from Nashville for Mikael Granlund, 1-for-1. But Granlund has done terrible with Nashville, so it almost looks like at this point that Minnesota's winning that trade. But yeah, overall, I just don't like a lot of pieces of their team. Like the moves that they made, I really can't agree with. And then you have their goaltending, Kaapo Kakkonen, who made his NHL debut not too long ago, has been really solid for them. So it looks like he could possibly be their next number one with Stalock as a backup. As we all know, Devin Dubnyk has been out for a decent amount of time, leave of absence to be with his wife, who I believe is suffering from an illness, which is really unfortunate. Hopefully things get better for him and her, and he's able to come back as soon as he can. But coming in relief, Kakkonen has been really solid for them, and I hope that good things continue. I do think that this Wild team does need to do a full rebuild. Their defense has some nice pieces, but they just have some terrible contracts on that team, starting with, obviously, Zach Parise and Ryan Suter. Even though Parise has had a very solid start to the season, overall, just being like 35, 36 will catch up to him in the injuries, too. He's been injury-plagued since he's come to the Wild. Suter has always been solid, but he's at that same age too, so you can't expect too much within the coming years. Really big Matt Dumba fan, love his game. Same thing with their other defenseman on their team. I'm going blank with everything right now, but their other young defenseman, Jared something. I don't know why everything's blanking on me at the moment. Just the pressure apparently. But anyways, I do think that they have some good pieces defensively, and they have some nice pieces in their mix on offense, but overall, I don't see them making the playoffs. I know that they've been on a good run, but I just don't see it happening. So to conclude this video is the Chicago Blackhawks, currently ranked 7th in the Central, bottom last. They have 30 points. They have 12 wins, 13 losses, 6 overtime losses. Patrick Kane is still as advertised. Such a great player, has always been a phenomenal player, and he's showing that age is not a problem when it comes to him. He has 14 goals, 36 points on the team. Alex DeBrincat has 8 goals, 22 points, and Dylan Strome right behind him with 14 assists and 20 points. This Chicago team is really tough. They have shown flashes of brilliance this season, but overall their defensive play has been unbelievably inconsistent, and that is why they are not going to make the playoffs. Chicago, they have some really good pieces offensively, especially with Jonathan Toews has really been stepping up his play past couple weeks since slumping the past couple seasons, honestly. where it seemed like his best years were behind him. But he's proving that he can still be a reliable top 6 forward. So it's good to see him turning the page in a good way. Kane has been phenomenal. You can expect points from him night in and night out. Alex DeBrincat, I'm a huge fan of. I love his game. He's a natural goal scorer. He's kind of had a slow start to the season in regards to the goal scoring, but I fully expect him to pick it up and get upwards of 30, 35 goals this season possibly. Then I look at Dylan Strome has been a perfect acquisition for them since coming over from Arizona in the Nick Schmaltz trade. It's worked out in dividends for both of them. Strome has been really solid. Alex Nylander has been decent too since coming over for Henry Jokiharju in the Buffalo trade. Nylander's played alongside Taves and pretty much everywhere throughout their lineup, and he's shown flashes, but it's about finding that consistency. They have a lot of solid pieces on this offense that I do like. I'm excited to see a lot more from Kirby Dach. He's been in a very limited role with this team, which is a little surprising. I don't know why they would keep him if they were only going to give him bottom 6 minutes, but it is part of developing a player, so I do understand that aspect. So we'll see what happens. I think that there's a lot to his game and a lot to look forward to if I'm a Blackhawks fan. But overall, their defense has been terrible, to say the least. They are completely washed. Unfortunately, Seabrook has been past his prime on a terrible contract now. Duncan Keith, same thing. And as much as I am a fan of Duncan Keith's game, he is getting to that point where you can't bank on him to get you upwards of 25 minutes a night. You just can't do it given his age now. And then they have some other pieces like Gustafsson and Connor Murphy. Gustafsson provides some offense at times, especially on the power play, but overall there just isn't enough there defensively. And Chicago has some decent prospects like Adam Boquist too, who's going to be a stud for them on defense, but overall I just don't see them making the playoffs, and their goaltending is the only reason why they've been somewhat in the mix, not fully on the decline, because Crawford has been solid at times for them, and Lehner has not skipped a beat since the stellar Bill Masterson winning season he had last year with the New York Islanders. So overall, I don't see Chicago making the playoffs, and that is going to end it with all my predictions on the divisions. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I have an idea of what I'm going to be doing for my next videos, and I think that all of you will like it. So once again, thank you. Please drop a like, subscribe, comment for more NHL content. I will be posting as much as I possibly can, and I will hopefully be getting out things more often and quicker as the winter break is coming. So thank you all again, and I will talk to you guys again in about a couple days or so.